Hey all, editing Caitlin here, just jumping in before we start our official bonus episode about season 3 here. Just to say that we didn't hold back on the spoilers in this episode. I know we usually have like a specific spoiler section at the end of our episodes. We didn't do that here. We talk about the ending. We talk about everything. And we forgot to warn you up top, so I'm doing that here.
Welcome to this extra special bonus episode of Desire Made Real, a Discovery of Witches podcast, where we usually recap every episode of the television show spoiler-free.
But today we're here to talk about the panel at MCM Comicon and the newly released season 3 trailer.
Woo! Gosh, we've been waiting for what feels like eternity for this trailer to drop.
But I feel like it actually hasn't been that long. Like, I think season 2 was this year.
But it feels like eternity. Like, what even year is that? We're still in 2020, right? Like, I don't even know. What is time?
To be fair, we had most of season 2 early because they were nice and gave us early access to the episodes. So we watched most of season 2 in 2020.
Oh, that's right.
But it actually came out in 2021.
It did. It came out in January, didn't it?
But I remember us trying to record episodes while also, like, Christmas was happening.
Right. Hopefully we'll get to do that again this year.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, we had early access last year. I feel like we'll have early access again this year so that we can get things recorded on a good schedule, but we'll see. We'll see.
I don't think they took away our password.
So, all right. So let's talk about that trailer. It was a long trailer. It's like 2 minutes long.
It was a good amount of trailer.
Yeah. Like last year, I feel like we got like a brief teaser before the trailer dropped. And this year, it was just like, boom, you're getting a trailer in 3 days. And then we got a 2 minute long trailer.
Well, we did already get a brief trailer when season 2 finished airing. They gave us like a little 30-second thing, most of which was also in here.
See, and I don't even remember that.
That was
no
this year.
Of that whatsoever.
We talked about it.
I'm sure we did. I have no memory of it. I had also completely forgotten that they recast Baldwin, and so I'm watching this trailer like, who is that guy?
Yeah.
And then I remember, like, after the second time through, I was like, oh, that's Baldwin.
I hadn't forgotten, but when you briefly see her like magic-y chaining him up, I didn't recognize him because I haven't seen the actor in anything before, and you see his face so briefly, and then suddenly he's covered in chains. That I was like, What is happening in there? Who is that? But then when he came on screen later and had like a line, I was like, oh, right.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was like, I don't know who that is. And then he's like standing in the church telling Matthew to stop the rebellion or something. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's totally Baldwin.
Yeah.
So definitely some family conflict escalating in season 3.
It's going to be so hard. Like, this actor has basically the worst job, which is to A, do a good job, which I'm sure he will, and B, make us like him as this character when we've already really liked this other dude. And it's going to be so hard not to always just say, man, Tristan was better.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just thought Tristan, what is his last name? I'm not going to remember. I literally had a cast list in front of me a second ago. Whatever.
Gravel.
Sure.
Gravel, maybe.
He just did such a good job with that character, and my eternal struggle with season 3 is going to be being nice to the new guy. It's going to be hard.
Yeah. He has the right look, though. Like, he has this, like, very ultra smooth, smarmy look to him, which is perfect for Baldwin.
I guess he doesn't look. So I've always enjoyed Baldwin as a character. I think he's very, very interesting and has, like really deep, very, like even more so than Matthew, very morally gray depths. And I've always really wanted a book about him from Deborah Harkness, like even more so than Gallowglass, because Gallowglass is great, and fun and wonderful, but I think what we saw was what we got pretty much with Gallowglass.
Yes.
I could be wrong about that. You never know. And this actor is just not who I would picture as the lead in like an adventure fantasy romance novel, if that makes any sense. So that's why I personally prefer Tristan Gravel as
Baldwin.
Jeez, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll see. I think we'll see how it goes, but I expect him to win us over as a character that we love to hate.
That's fair. And like I said, I'm sure he's a great actor and will do a good job. Nothing against the actor. It must have been so hard to say yes to taking over a role like that. So, and intimidating. And so I don't want, I mean, he's not listening to us. It doesn't matter what I say, but you know.
Now, we saw a lot of Peter Knox.
Yes.
And I'm just ready to be done with Peter Knox. Can we just like punch him in the face and make him go away now?
So this is a good segue. I asked on Twitter for some people to, like, I told Twitter that we were recording this and if there's anything they wanted us to talk about. And, oh, this will be fun for me to say, at Lotk Ness Monster on Twitter, which is a great Twitter handle, asked us how we feel about the show ending and top 3 scenes you really want to see brought to life. And one of my top 3, because I read this yesterday and thought about it, is of bringing down Peter fucking Knox and wiping that smarmy goddamn look off of his face.
Right?
Yes. I don't care. I mean, I want it to be Diana, obviously. And I want it to be like a you failed moment for him. And I hate him so much. I think I hate him more than Benjamin. Because Benjamin at least has some tragedy about him. Peter Knox is just a fucking asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, that's one of my other top 3 is the reunion with Jack, who we got none of in this trailer, basically, I'm pretty sure.
And yeah, I don't recall seeing anything that could possibly be Jack.
Yeah, and I'm not particularly married to the way they did it in the book. I just want to see it. I want them back together. And then the final scene in the book, I think, or almost the final scene, is Matthew and Diana dancing at Septur. And I really appreciate it if they gave us that as a final scene.
That would be lovely. That would be lovely. I am very much looking forward to the New Orleans scenes, especially after hearing Edward Blumenauer talk about the sets in the panel. Given the challenges of COVID, they couldn't go film on location, so they had to build them. And apparently you really felt like you were transported to New Orleans. And I'm like, I want to see it. I think it's going to be great fun.
I think obviously we've seen them do Elizabethan London in Cardiff, right? Or near Cardiff, I guess. So they have great set builders. They know what they're doing with that. But on the flip side of that, there's also like the house in Madison that they built in England somewhere, or in the UK, probably still in Wales, that for me just did not look at all like it was in North America. So it's interesting that they could do one thing extremely, extremely well. And then, although the first season had a completely different budget and possibly a completely different crew doing the sets, so who knows? It'll be...
Right.
I am also interested to see it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, because you touched on Jack. Jack's going to be the big one. And I am looking forward to seeing Gallowglass and Diana reunited.
Yes.
I want to see how that's going to play out, and I want to know if they're going to change it from the book. Because they didn't give us any of that in the show in season 2.
I think there was maybe a brief look on Gallowglass's face, like it was all internal for him. So
right, it was nothing explicit.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with those two in season 3, and of course, I'm really looking forward to meeting Chris.
Yes, that's a good one too. We should have said this at the top of the episode. Full spoilers. I'm holding nothing back.
I'm trying to, but it's hard.
Nah. It's fine.
Yeah. Maybe you can go back and when you edit this one together, you can put a little
spoiler warning at the top.
Spoiler warning at the top.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So, but I think, I'm excited. That's really all I can say is I am excited to see this. I am sad that it's going to end, but the material ends, right?
Yeah.
There were 3 books. Yes, I know we get Times Convert, but that's not Diana and Matthew's story, and this is Diana's story.
Yeah.
And it has a clear ending, and so I love that we got the whole story from beginning to end, and I feel like they've done a really good job of honoring that story and honoring Deborah Harkness's words, and I just can't imagine that they're not going to continue to do that through season 3.
Yes, I am incredibly thankful that it wasn't canceled or like postponed for 2 years or anything like that.
Right.
So that's really great. And from the panel at MCM when they were talking about all the safety precautions that they did when they were recording, it doesn't fill me with guilt. Because a lot of time when I watch a show or something that was filmed during COVID, I'm just like, oh God, I feel like I'm supporting something that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but they were clear that it was safety first. Like, the art was important. That's why they were doing it, but it wasn't more important than the lives of the cast and the crew. And so they took precautions to make sure, testing and masks and making sure people had breaks. I think Teresa said that Lachlan made sure that they got a 5-minute break every hour so everybody could go outside and just take their masks off.
Yeah.
Right. So that they didn't have to just be stifled and uncomfortable all the time. And hearing them talk about those things is sobering because part of you is like, wow, they went through a lot of crap to bring this entertainment to me.
Mm-hmm.
But that makes me appreciate the entertainment a little bit more.
Yes. I can't believe they did that pre-vaccines. That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
The world is just a different place right now, but I am immensely thankful for artists who are committed to their art and to their fans and are willing to just be uncomfortable and be safe while doing it. And it's fantastic, and it's just another great reason to love Sky.
Yeah, and Bad Wolf.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so because of COVID, they didn't get to travel abroad at all like they did in previous seasons. So everything ended up being in Cardiff. I love that they were talking about in the panel that Hubbard's office is actually the corporate offices of Bad Wolf.
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
And I think I don't know if it happened on your end, but on my end, the audio went kind of wonky for a bit. But I'm pretty sure Teresa and Stephen McCree, Gallaglass, were talking about they were on a boat in quote unquote Prague, but it was just green screen there.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
Yeah. I hope the special effects are better than season 1, but season 2 was pretty good. So
yeah, no, I think they set that bar really high in season 2, and I think that I think they'll meet it.
I super duper hope so.
So my favorite part of the panel was Stephen Cree joking about a spinoff.
Yes.
Of Gallaglass and Hubbard being buddy detectives.
I didn't know. My gosh. I wanted them to hang out, but apparently I want that more than anything now.
Right? Yes, that was the first thing I thought was I need that in my life.
Yes.
and Paul said, I have a name for it, Hubbard's Cupboards.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous, but you know what? I'm here for it.
Yes, that was so good. And when Tanya Moody was talking about Tanya Moody? Shit. I literally just heard her name said. Whatever.
I think it was Tanya.
Okay, Tanya Moody. When Tanya Moody was just like, a show about demons. We want more demons. And I was like, yes, I want that too. I would love.
Oh, I would totally be here for Agatha, Nate, and Sophie.
Yes. Or even if Deborah Harkness wanted to write a new book, but focusing on demons instead of the witches and vampires and really delving into where they stand in the world and what's up with them, that would be so cool.
Yes. I think we're just here for anything that Deborah Harkness would be willing to write.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
One of the notes that I wrote down is, why is everyone so attractive? about the panel.
Yeah.
Because at one point when we went from like Adele to Tanya, and why are they so pretty?
Right. Even just sitting in their houses, like just chilling.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Tanya Moody's glasses.
Yes. Her
Amazing.
hair, her shirt.
Yes.
Everything.
All amazing. I love Edward and
yes.
Jacob. I would say Jacob, but Edward pronounces it Jacob, so I don't actually know the pronunciation of his name.
Just call him Benjamin. It's fine.
They apparently live together. They've been best friends for forever, and having them like together in the Zoom was awesome.
That was fun. It is so odd to see Marcus and Benjamin being friends.
Right?
But, it's cool. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure other people liked that too. It was a good time.
Yeah. I will say I thought last year's panel was better than this one.
Because they were all in the same room and like jokey with each other?
Maybe that's what it was. Because they tried, like Adele tried to be jokey here, but I think they were having technical difficulties because, talking over each other in a Zoom is different than when you get those nonverbal cues.
Yeah, it was the most stereotypical Zoom call with more than two people,
It really was. This person's got a dog, this person's got a baby.
Yeah. There were times when like Teresa was talking with her both hands and you couldn't see the baby anywhere, and I was like, what did you do with the baby, Teresa?
Where's the baby? Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm glad we watched the panel. I don't feel like we got as much information out of this panel as we did last year's panel.
I feel like there's a lot of information if you have not read the books.
Maybe. But last year they took specific like questions from Twitter and stuff.
Yes.
And so they were questions that fans wanted to know. And they didn't do that this year. These were very specific, like interviewee questions. Like,
that's true.
Did you really think that it was intense? And what was it like filming the end of the season? And, it was, I don't know, it felt less interactive, even though last year it wasn't actually interactive.
No,
it felt more interactive.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
We didn't get to hear about like the most ridiculous day on set or anything like that.
Right. And like how dirty and sexy it was and all of that. It felt much more structured, I think. And I think I want my panels to be slightly less structured. Like I want it to be more organic.
Yeah. I guess structure is what happens when a higher up in the company is who's interviewing you.
Oh, possibly. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. But it was still awesome, though, because this week is the first discovery of witches stuff that we've gotten in 10 months.
This is true. Yes.
So that was nice.
Something that I did just want to touch on when we were talking about all the COVID stuff that they did. It meant that we only get 7 episodes because they used a bunch of their budget for the safety stuff and the building of sets and that sort of thing. And I just don't know how they're going to do 7 episodes. I mean, I guess the 7 episodes aren't relegated to being 45 minutes as like if they were airing on television.
Yeah, they'll probably be like closer to like an hour a piece.
Because some of season 2 was like over an hour, pretty sure.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I mean, he did touch on it. Lachlan, the executive producer, touched on it and said, they had to figure out how to further condense the story, but he felt confident that they did so successfully. So we'll see.
I mean, the executive producer isn't going to say anything else. Like, everybody,
of course,
we screwed up. Sorry.
But I mean,
that would have been an interesting panel, though.
Right. I think there are a lot of threads that they've already that they didn't touch on through book 1 and 2. So there's already material that they could have taken out.
That's true.
So we'll see kind of where it goes. Like, I don't think they're going to do the ghost, but I wish they would.
I don't think they're going to do the ghosts either because they haven't done a single ghost, basically.
Right.
But I do hope that there's like a letter from Philippe, because I think there was a letter in the book.
Okay.
Like when he left some stuff for Diana when she became part of the family, and there was a letter with it.
So I think the main thing is Philippe and Emily were still a large part of the 3rd book, and I hope they find a way to do that, even if it's not we're seeing their ghosts watch Diana and Matthew just go about their lives, right?
That's true.
I'm sure they found a way to do it. I just don't know how they will have.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Emily's loss will be a big presence. And I'm glad we're getting a funeral because we didn't get that in the book. And it felt very like the reader especially, but the characters also just never got any closure. But the reader especially, because we didn't even see it happen in the book. Like, they came back from the past and Em was just dead. And it was like, wait, what?
Yeah, and it sounds like the way they've done it in the show is it's much closer to the time that Diana and Matthew come back. So it, like, kind of happens together.
Yeah.
And so it's not like they all get to grieve together instead of having Sarah and everybody has already kind of dealt with it, and now it's fresh for Diana. It's going to be fresh for everybody, including us.
Yeah, I like that a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although Diana's funeral outfit looked weird.
A lot of Diana's outfits looked weird in the trailer.
I loved her outfit at the end because I'm assuming, I could be wrong, but I'm assuming that that's going to be the outfit she wears for when she joins the congregation. And I love that it's kind of a mix of modern and Elizabethan, which is sort of what has happened to Diana as a character. And it's not something I would ever want to walk down the street in. Oh, maybe. Oh, it's really nice. Anyways, but I love that they did that to show that character of that characterness. I don't know how to, whatever. And it's also just a way to once again show off that they have this amazing costuming department who are not going to get to work the way that they did in season 2.
Yeah. You know, one of the interesting things about the season 3 trailer is that because so much of it takes place at Sator, like it's easy to forget that they're not in the past.
Yes.
Except then you see their clothes, right? You see Lindsay Duncan looking beautiful as ever. And you see Matthew in just like a regular crew collared sweater.
And then
wait, what?
The shots of the lab and people in lab coats and stuff. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
But then you get that final shot of Diana, I'm ready, and she's in that dress. And it's like, oh, wait a minute.
You know, we don't see the bottom of it. I'm unsure that it is a dress because I was picturing like the jacket that she's wearing to be more like a suit jacket and then she's wearing pants.
Maybe, because it could be like the outfit. One of our favorite outfits from season 2 was the one where she was wearing the pants, but she was wearing that nice top that went with the dress, but she wore it with the pants.
Yes.
So maybe they did something like that. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
I never thought we would become a Discovery of Witchin's fashion podcast, but here we are.
Yeah.
I do miss scruffy Elizabethan Matthew, but modern day Matthew is nice also, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We didn't see Phoebe or Miriam in the trailer.
No Phoebe? I thought there was a brief bit of Phoebe and Marcus.
Or if they were there, it wasn't in a speaking part. It would have just been in the background.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although we did see Satu talking to Benjamin, which I am fairly certain never happened in the book.
Okay, I was going to bring that up, but then I was like, it's been so long since I've read these books, and, you know, we've had some listeners be frustrated that I don't remember. So I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, I don't think that happened in the book.
Okay, so while we're talking about this, let's just say, if we don't get the episodes early, I'm fairly confident I can reread the book before it starts. But if we get them like beginning of December like we did last year, no way. I don't have time for that.
Yeah. I may just skip ahead to book 3.
Yeah, like, because I have to rewatch the first and second season, because this is a podcast about the shows, not the books.
Yeah.
So that I can do, obviously. That'll be easy. I'll just play Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
But I don't think, unlikely, that I'm going to have time for anything other than a flip through of the Book of Life, which sucks. But I did already read them this year. Technically, it was just in January.
Yeah, no, it's been a couple years for me since I've reread them. So I think to close out the show, like I'm gonna have to definitely reread them before we start season 3. So that will be a goal of mine, is to get that done for sure. But I am definitely curious about what Satu and Benjamin could be talking about, especially given the direction that Satu's character takes in the 3rd book.
Because we have so much more of Satu in the show, I am very interested to see what they do with her character.
Yeah.
Like, if they kind of do redeem her a bit more. Or, because in the book, she votes with Diana, but only because Diana basically blackmails her.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and I'd really like to see it more that they sort of come to an appreciation of each other, if not an actual liking because of, the torture.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm interested to see those two interact again at the very least.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Absolutely. Okay. Have we exhausted the panel and the trailer?
I feel like I could keep talking forever. But, oh, we have some more questions. Sorry.
Okay.
At Jane Andrew 60, I guess I tweeted anything you want us to talk about in particular. And she said, Matthew, the elusive legend. And he wasn't on the panel, so we didn't get much from him.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that they find a way to put a cape on him in modern day times.
That would be interesting. Again, along with Diana, I'm obviously interested to see his reunion with Jack and how that goes.
Mm-hmm. And
then, which new character that was cast for this season are you excited to see the most? And that was from at Book Nerd Girl 101.
That's a great question that I don't have an answer to because I'm excited about everybody. There's a lot of new people coming in season 3 as Matthew and Diana try to build kind of their own congregation-esque type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to get to meet some new people, and I think that's going to be exciting, like all the way around.
I'm excited to see Chris and get back to more sciencey stuff. I'm excited to see like Chris and Matthew working together. I hope. I hope they give us that. That'll be fun. I know I talked about this a lot earlier, but I'm interested to see how the new Baldwin goes, what that's like.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish there was more witches. Fernando, yes, Fernando. But now I think we're just listing all the new characters.
Yeah, I think we kind of are. I mean, I'm excited to see everybody. Like, there's not a character who is incidental.
Yes. And we get, what's his face? Marcus's children, too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to remember his name. So that'll be interesting. I'm it's always interesting when, like, at the final arc of a story, you get all these new characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I've said this word a million times now, but interested to see how they go about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just going to be...
I just want it now. I don't want to wait.
Now having images of Veruca Salt.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But it's coming in January. Do we have a specific date, or do we just... No, everything just says January 2022.
Except hopefully for us, it's December 2021.
Right. We'll see.
For logistic reasons as well as Caitlin's impatient.
Right.
But mostly because Caitlin's impatient and wants it now.
Sit there and binge them. Actually, what they'll probably do, if it's anything like last year, is we'll get like the first 4 episodes, maybe 5, and then we'll have to wait to get the last 2.
Why must you hurt me in this way?
Because I'm just trying to manage expectations.
Are you sad that it's ending?
Yes and no.
Okay.
My answer for this is very similar to what Teresa Palmer's answer was when they asked her in the panel. Because she talked about how Diana, she went with Diana through this story from Diana just, trying to pass as human at the beginning to where she ends up at the end. And so she feels like she's run the course of that arc, and it's a great place to leave Diana. And I agree with that. But at the same time, like, I'm so invested in these characters that they're like family to me. And so saying goodbye to them is painful. But I do know that I can always go back to the books.
That's true.
I mean, I can always go back and rewatch the show too. But it is painful to say goodbye and to know that we're not going to get new material. On
TV anyways, yes. I do think Deborah Harkness is writing more books. I'm kind of the same. I love that they got to tell a full and complete story. I enjoy when TV gets that as opposed to just going on and on forever. And I think, even if there are more books, I don't think that they would really work as well. Just not even because they're about different characters, but because I think they're more character studies and less plot. while these 3 books have a good overarching plot.
Right. Like Time's Convert is just, it's Marcus's story. Like we find out about his past and who he is and why Phoebe is working so hard to stay in his life, right? But it's not an action story. It's not the world is ending and we've got to save it.
And we get like a nice Diana and Matthew epilogue kind of throughout the book, which whenever I reread it, that's pretty much, I just read those chapters.
Oh.
Not that I love Marcus and Phoebe, but whenever, I don't know, you get like little sum ups in those chapters of what's going on with them. So it's fine.
I love seeing the twins in those chapters.
Yes.
Like a lot.
And Jack and how they're like a family and how they're still just like, let's pick a house and move there. Oh my God. I'm assuming that season 3 has cut down on the let's move into this house and then let's move into this house and then let's move into this house.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because even in the book, that got old real fast.
Yeah. Well, and there's no way they could cover 7 episodes filmed during COVID when they couldn't travel and had to build every set. There's no way they did that. Yeah. So, like, I'm not even sure well, they can't spend the whole season at Sator. They're going to have to go back to London.
Yeah, they have to. Well, no, they have to go to Oxford because that's where the book is.
I'm a crazy American, and London and Oxford are the same thing to me.
Oh, no.
I know they're not. I know they're not.
Okay.
I know they're not.
I guess you meant England.
Yes.
As opposed to France.
Yes. They're going to have to go back to England. I am geographically challenged, okay?
I remember a part that we completely cut out of our season 2 discussion where we both proved how geographically challenged we were. So that's something that nobody will ever hear.
Okay. All right. So we have a few more months to go.
Yes. As a bit of a segue, I suppose I will say I would be more sad about it ending if you and I weren't already doing another podcast.
Right. That is true. But we have no idea when we're going to be able to do that because while we know there is going to be a season 2 of Shadow and Bone, we don't know anything else about it yet.
That's very true. But while you're waiting for our season 2 coverage, for our season 3 coverage of Desire Made Real, if you haven't checked out our Shadow and Bone podcast, Enter the Fold, you can do that. All right, so we would love to know what you all think of the trailer. Tweet at us at Desire Made Real. I'm Caitlin, and you can find me on Twitter at Inferior Caitlin.
And I am Mandi Kay, and you can find this show and all of the other eloquent gushing shows at eloquentgushing.com. We are also on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Eloquent Gushing. And it would be really awesome if you guys would follow me on TikTok. I am on TikTok at MandiKVO. I am trying to get to 1,000 followers so I can go live on TikTok and do podcasty things. But they don't let you do that until you have 1,000 followers. So
do I follow you?
Me. I don't know. Do you?
I have no idea. I guess I'll check
go
after
follow
this.
Me. I am doing a really cool new thing on there right now. Starting today, actually. I'm going to be recapping the brand new Hallmark Channel Christmas movies, holiday movies, but doing it under the TikTok time limit. So Minute Movies and Mistletoe. It's going to be great. So go check it out.
That sounds fun. And we will be back soon when season 3 starts. Yay. Unless we get another trailer or something, then we might be back before that. We don't know what's happening right now. Everything's up in the air.
But we will be back one day.
But until we meet again, remember that with every ending, there's a new beginning.